好状态，是不是肚子现在非常疼啊？
对，因为昨天来例假了，所以。
In the past, an athlete's period was merely something to be endured, usually in an uncomfortable silence. But the rise of women's sport in recent years has highlighted these important research gaps in exercise science, and the stigma for something that is not often publicly spoken about. A female's menstrual cycle has been shown to affect an athlete's heart rate and temperatures when exercising, which can lead to a greater risk of injury. So far, sporting organisations have struggled to give a comfortable environment for athletes to talk about their personal effects of their menstrual cycles. Anthea Clark, an exercise sports scientist with expertise in this area, believes that there needs to be more education given to all levels of sporting organisations in women's sport.
The big thing about the menstrual cycle is that it's unique to each athlete. So my experience of my menstrual cycle is going to be very different to someone else's experience. You could have symptoms of how you're feeling, whether you're feeling bloated, whether you've got mood or disturbances like that. I don't think there's enough education for anyone about the menstrual cycle, whether that be our athletes, male or female coaches. If we can improve that education, it's going to improve the experience for our female athletes, absolutely, and more needs to be done. Yeah.
While cyclist Steph Hibbert takes birth control to negate the symptoms of her menstrual cycle, she finds it rare that the topic of menstrual cycles ever come up within her sport, and believes the discomfort comes from social norms and a lack of education for athletes.
Yeah, I haven't heard it being talked about while training or while racing. Obviously, there are lots of males in cycling, so that could play a part in it. But the girls who I ride with as well, it's not something that comes up. I've never heard it being spoken about in cycling at all. I think if girls are affected by menstrual symptoms, then there are definitely medications and technologies out there today that they have access to, which would be great if they knew all their options.
Campaigns such as I Am an Athlete, Period, and the Smarter campaign has brought some form of awareness of the performance effects of the menstrual cycle among athletes. But researchers such as Dr. Clark are continuing to break new grounds and aspire to improve how menstrual cycles are looked upon within sport.
Not only do we need to understand more about female athletes' experiences around the menstrual cycle and what changes in terms of performance and training, but also how do we improve the implementation of some of that menstrual cycle monitoring? Do we need to add in more education specific to athletes, specific to coaches, and how we can integrate those together?
Bailey Zimmermann for News Aplenty.